Mabuhay! I'm Eugenia Moraleda, and you're watching Landscapes of Learning. Remember the three L's? At the top, you have Landscapes of Learning, where the learners feel good. Translated, it is joyful learning. If I may repeat, you have four programs: the Teach Learn component, the music, the arts, and the scenarios from the future. We are now in the third component, arts, and I think this is our third episode. The second was the color yellow, and the first was Nefertiti and facial expressions. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Today we are going to focus on the color red. What is it that red is a favorite of so many? People think that is my favorite color, but that's not my color. Not even yellow. But today we'll talk about red. The red, its hue, its value, intensity. If you notice farther to the right, you will find this is not a painting. It is an abstract, a part of a textile. It's my skirt. But I chose it because of the color red, and I also chose it because it shows the primaries of color. Red, you have your yellow, the second, and then of course I'm looking for blue. It seems not to be here. But what we have here is the complement of yellow and blue, which is green. Let me now go back to red. Do you have stories to tell about red? In Japan, red is seemingly out of sight. When I went there, in most shopping malls, I was looking for a red blazer, a red coat during my travel. What I found were subtle greens, mint green, light pinks, all these light things. Not one sole red. Until, of course, in my next visit, red was the wedding dress of most rich people. They said that if you're going to have your daughter married with the full costume, you have to be a millionaire. Let's go back again. In China, red is a life-giving color. There are three gods expected in I think it's a Taoist religion, and one of the gods is dressed in red, meaning it is connected, and it's supposed to be a god that showers wealth, so it's connected to riches. Now also, there's another religion in China wherein the brides are dressed in red robes, especially if they are about to meet their groom. So it's red, not white. White is a mourning color in China. Okay, now in Japan, one of the loveliest sights I have seen in pictures only. I've been watching it while I've been there, but it doesn't seem to be scheduled according to my itinerary. But the loveliest sight I've seen is the gate to a shrine in Hiroshima, Japan. At 6 p.m., if it is silhouetted against the sky, which is also almost of the same color, you will find one of the loveliest sunset in the world. That is Japan's red. Now, my story of red is something else. One is, as I said before, my remembrance of red are the red flowers or the red petals that were thrown by the singer, which was supposedly a first lady, showering me with red petals. I'm not sure if the red was of anthurium, poinsettia, which is just Christmas color, or simply rose petals. But it showered and it touched me deeply in my heart, thinking, my God, is that one way to say thank you to an accompanist? And of course, my other stories, of the many stories I would like to tell you now, is of course in the Ilocos, there is a supposedly a long line of bougainvillea, but not really that red. It is more of the shades of red. And my story is during my wedding day. That is previous to my wedding day. I was hoping to have a long bouquet of white roses. When I arrived the day before our wedding, I was looking for my white bouquet. Busy from school, I was looking for my white bouquet, but no one would dare tell me that it was stored in the fridge. When I opened the frigidaire, what met me, or what I saw, was a bunch, or I think a dozen, of red long-stemmed roses. So I shouted, "Where is my white rose, my white bouquet?" And they had a difficulty telling me that there was no white bouquet because I should have what would you call it? It should have been ordered at least a week, or at least the list is 4 days before the date that we're going to pick it up, meaning today. So somehow I said, my gosh, a bouquet is such a simple request that I wanted it and I could not have it that day. Well, so much for that. And that was my story, but that is not yet finished when I tell you about the story of that long stemmed flower. And that was during my wedding day. During my wedding day, there were some gaps because I live nearby where I married, St. Lourdes Church. Before my time, I think the bride before me arrived and she thought it was her time. Probably and it was already through the encouragement of the wedding planner. So the car stopped, her car stopped, while I was still outside of the gate. So I was met by my cousin who said, "It's bad luck. If you are waiting inside the church compound or whatever it is, you wait outside." "No, you're not going to wait," he said. "We are going to go to the other gate, and let's wait outside of the church compound." So there it was, I had to wait. And when it was my time, I said, "Why, that was fast for a wedding ceremony." Only then did I realize that at the time, the priest who was supposed to marry me rejected the bride, meaning midway, while they were marching, she said, "That cannot be the girl I'm going to officiate in marriage. That cannot be Jean," he would say. No, he went out, "Where is my bride?" He said, "My bride." And then it came to pass that there was some mistake. So, but I think it was the priest who insisted, "I want to marry the girl that is supposed to be the bride." And I'm sure she can be dressed in such a very sophisticated gown. It was really inspired by Cleopatra. And thanks to the Cleopatra, all the church was filled with flowers, flowers, and flowers. I'm not sure now whether the flower was white or I don't know. I call it Egyptian blooms because uh, her yeah, a bridal trousseau was really Cleopatra style, and her face was practically hidden in the blossoms of yellow, gold, etc., etc. I called her Cleopatra because she really looked like Cleopatra. So that was for Cleopatra. But I was thankful that because of that, my church was filled with flowers, and I walked in a red carpet instead of the white that I had chosen. And proudly, I walked with my red, long-stemmed rose. So that is my story for red. Now, seriously, you have your own red stories, and I still have lots, but it will be taken up in special lessons, graded lessons. Now, let us go to the color red. Well, red, as you see here, is the second, not second because yellow is the first, but it is one of the primary color, red, blue, and yellow. Why are they primary? The reason given was that these are the colors that cannot be the result of mixing other colors. So primary, you will always think of yellow. Yellow is at the top because it is comes closest to the color of sunlight, light. Then you have red, and then you have blue. Notice the red here? Yes. The U is red. Value. What do you think? Is that bright red? How about intensity? Is it dull or bright? Do you have dark lights and darks here? Well, try to analyze that painting of red. Red, U, value, and intensity. Now for today, we will also take up color schemes. How do you mix color? How does the artist mix color so that it comes up with a successful unified work? Well, we mentioned the primary yellow, red, and blue. Now when you mix two primaries, that is yellow and red, you get a secondary color that is orange here. If you mix yellow with blue, you get a green. That is your secondary. And if you mix red with blue, you get violets. Now they say if you mix all of them together, what will result is a grayish color. So primaries, secondary, I repeat, yellow red equals orange, yellow green blue equals green, and red and blue equals violet. Now there are ways or strategies or designs on how to combine these different colors. You have analogous, you have monochromatic, complements, and split complements. Briefly, let me just pass this before we get into detailed lessons in the future. Analogous means you have four neighboring colors in the color wheel. That would mean it could be yellow, this is yellow orange, and this is orange and red orange. Now why are they analogous? Because there is a ruling color which is yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. All these colors have yellow in their mix. Or it can be yellow and 4 more. Yellow, yellow green, blue green, and what's this? Yellow, yellow green, blue green, and green. All of these colors are neighbor because they are present with the color yellow. 4 neighboring colors. In below you have, if it is red, you have red violet, violet, and what is this? Red violet, violet, and red. I am missing that color. It's supposed to be red violet or blue. So that is what we mean by analogous. There is a ruling color, only one. But all the 4 colors have a mix of the ruling color, which is a primary. It could be a yellow color, it could be a red, and it could be a blue. Now, we have taken up already complements. We said that when a primary is mixed like yellow and red, you get an orange. That is what we mean by complements. When you mix yellow with blue, you get a green complement. And then when you mix red with blue, you get a violet complement. Now, when all of these colors are mixed, the complements are mixed together, you get a gray color. But not so much for today. We'll focus only on the complements, which is the result of 2 primary colors. Okay? Now, let's go to what is monochromatic. Mono means one. Chroma means color. So, mono, only one color, as in this painting of the yellow rose. But the difference is that when you have one color, the painter covers the full range of its value as shown here, the lights and the brights, and also the intensity, the darks, and light. So you have a light here. So this is a monochromatic painting because only one color is dominating, but it is the full range of the color that is covered by the painter, mono. So it is the hue, this is the yellow color, the value, the darks and lights of here, and then of course the intensity, whether you have dullness, maputla, I repeat, is there a part here na maputla or it is bright? Here you have your bright, almost like sunlight. So monochromatic. And the last grouping for today is what we call, from the complements, we have the split complements. And what do we mean by split complements? It is a ruling color with two sides of its complement. That's why split. If let's go to a complement. If the complement yellow, the complement of is orange, two sides of the color and its complement, which is also similar to analogous, is your split complements. Now in painting, if you want contrast, you go to the complements because yellow is a contrast of red, as you find there, and then yellow is a contrast of blue. It's, well, we will find it in the flags. Extreme contrast, you get complements or the secondary colors of a color wheel. Now, if you don't want an extreme contrast, just subtle, meaning you use the monochromatic style wherein one color is explored but the values and intensities are maximized, either dullness or brightness, lights or darks, as shown in this painting. Now, if you want, in the split complements or as in the analogous, you notice that the contrast between the neighboring colors are not the same. So if your topic or your subject does not require extreme contrast like the blue and the red in our flags, then you go to this combination of analogous complement or analogous color scheme. Now, so much for your color schemes and the color red. Now, for your assignment, try to look for a color combination of complements. That can be anything as long as they belong to the scheme of complements. Now, show also the relationship of the complements to the secondary colors in the color wheel. Are they the same or there are differences? Now, so much for today. Good luck, and I hope you will be able to complete our assignment according to this color schemes. Don't forget to subscribe. You might have queries that you want to address. It's Eugenia M. Moraleda, Landscapes of Learning, your channel, your video, YouTube. Thank you for being with me and good day.